You know, many people have asked me that. I mean, who's to tell? But I think that he would, especially now when you see the Rolling Stones who are still performing. You know, when Elvis, he had mentioned, oh, I guess like in his 30s, he'd go, what am I going to do when I'm 40? I got to think of something else to do. I don't want to be a 40-year-old on the stage. But I think he would still, with today, everyone is still doing it. So I would hope that he would still be. One of the reasons why I'm here is because I really, really want to let all the fans here know how much he wanted to perform and come to. Absolutely, eventually. He has so many fans over here, unbelievable, from the time he started out until to this day. We have so many fans that go to Graceland every single year, all the fans that we've come to know. They're bringing their own children in. It's generational now. So I really want to thank them and let everyone know how No, he really, I mean, he covered a lot of songs. There were songs that he loved, that other artists, of course, sang. Elvis was very sensitive to music as far as what he liked, how he loved phrasing. He felt that in his songs and song choices for him that, let's say, labels had or the record company had, a lot of them just didn't fit him, unless it was in the ghetto or it was songs like If I Could Dream, because he had such a passion. Phrasing meant everything, words meant everything to him. So, you know, he was a bit disillusioned by the song choices that he was given.
The most publicized soldier since Napoleon, Elvis Presley, with girlfriend Priscilla Presley to see him off, was leaving Frankfurt at the end of his army service. So it was farewell to military glory and to 16-year-old Priscilla. What fame for that girl to have been a friend of the Emperor of rock and roll.
Oh, I actually wasn't 16, I was only 14. Oh. You know, at the time that I met Elvis, it was a very vulnerable time for him. He lost his mother just before he went to Germany. He was so humble, he was so basically shy. He was worried about if his fans were going to receive him as they did before he left, if he would still be as popular. So many concerns, and I think that, you know, for me, I saw a very, yes, he was the biggest thing ever. You know, he's so iconic even then. But I got to see that other side of him. I got to see him very, very vulnerable, which was hard for me because I was consoling him a bit, even though I was so much younger. When I came back to the States, he, of course, everyone did receive him well. He was still a big hit, if not. Of course, we had President Bush Jr. But during that time, Elvis really didn't entertain a lot of celebrities and guests. You know, Elvis was quite private and lived at Graceland with all of his friends and family. Yes, there were a few very famous people. Jim Brown with the Cleveland Browns at that time was a guest. He had Robert Conrad, who was very popular at that time, and a few others. But it really wasn't a place that a lot. He kept his life. Elvis, I have to say, kept his life very private. He would invite people to his home. Nervous. I remember that there were some kids out in the front for autographs. I remember his father greeting me because he would, you know, he was happened to be walking by, and I really didn't know what to expect. I was quite nervous, as you would expect. And when I walked in, he was sitting in a chair, gorgeous, a red sweater, and I looked at him and I went, Elvis Presley, "Oh my gosh, he's even better looking in person." I was speechless. And very nervous, and what do I say? But he broke the ice. He had a great sense of humor, and he entertained, he played piano. I know a lot of people said, you know, he'd have parties all the time, and he really didn't have parties. It was just his friends, and they gathered around and sang, and he'd play piano or guitar and sing, and that was what they called